I'm going to talk about a very colorful person in Folly Beach history, Jesse Porter. Probably most people don't even remember now. They would remember Brian, who died several years ago. They would remember him as being attached to the fire department. But a story about his dad. Jesse was quite a unusual character. Got to know them when I was a little girl. My dad and Jesse Porter ran a shrimp boat together. And of course, in the afternoons, all the wives and everybody had to go head shrimp. And luckily, I was too little for that. I didn't have to head shrimp. But Brian Porter and I played together. And Ott's Dock was down where the West 9th Street part is on the, if you go down to West 9th Street and turn to the right, there was Ott's Dock that was down in there. And that's what they shrimped off of. Big shrimp dock that went out there and the shrimp trawlers came into there. But I have many memories of Brian and I. We'd catch fiddler crabs and then they'd give us the little Chinese crabs out of the shrimp things. And of course we had great fun playing with those. So I've known him since he and I were very young. And of course, as we grew up, the family stayed friends. And I just had the story about Jesse and the waterworks. But another interesting story about Jesse Porter was him being blown up in a boat with the two boys. They were in the river, dynamite and fish. Of course, if you know anything about dynamite and fish, they shock the fish, they come to the top of the water, they scoop them up. And Jesse apparently was lighting a cap with a cigar in his mouth, and it blew up. My mother and I were coming back on the beach about the time that they were bringing him down. There were no ambulances, no 911, nothing like that to carry him to the hospital. But they had him in the back of a station wagon, carrying him in, thinking that he would not live till he arrived at the hospital. Blew off one of his arms, one of his eyes, and many months in recovery. But one of the most, he never gave up. He ran the waterworks like that. He lived the rest of his life like that. And of course, he didn't dynamite any more fish out there at that point. But he was a very strong individual and lived through something which most people would not have. Now, the boys probably had stories to tell on that, too, about their dad and in the water and getting every fish. We used to say Jesse wasn't happy until he had every fish in the sea, because that's what they ate a lot of, was the fish. So, very colorful character in the life of Folly Beach, and he actually worked till he wasn't able to work anymore for the water department. So.